It's Ringworm right here on your Classic Metal Show with Leave Your Skin at the Door. And this is Neeley along with my very good friend Chris Aiken, hanging out here at the 78th Street studio for the Reigning Rock, 50 years of rock here. And we've got a couple of wild characters here.
Who, me and you?
I think these guys overshadow us by a mile.
It's funny when no one had to come over and say, "Hey, Siki's here." It was like we heard over there. It's like, "Ah!" It's like, here he comes.
Well, we've got we've got Siki here along with I don't know your drummer's name.
The Phantom.
What is it?
The Phantom.
The Phantom.
Yeah.
From Black Death.
Resurrected.
And, these guys have made the trip out. These guys look like they just came off stage.
Well, that's it. Yeah. You got to look the part, right, boys?
Right, but you got to live it. It's more than just dressing up like it's a... Oh, that's right. Can't use cuss words.
Yo, you can. Swear.
Oh, you can?
Swear.
It's not like dressing up like you're going to a fucking Halloween party. If you're in the metal, you dress like this shit every fucking day.
That's right.
This
exactly.
is what I would call my Sunday go to evening attire. But, otherwise I just wear this.
Well, it's an outfit Rob Halford could be proud of.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Minus the buggery. But yes. But anyways.
well, very cool. Well, Joe was telling us, Siki's on his way. Siki's on his way. And, boy, I tell you, when you walk through the door, we all heard, he's here.
Well, we had a little bit of a slight problem with the brakes on our way over, but we made it here safely.
No doubt, man.
Thanks to our pilot, Captain Phantom.
You tried. I tried. We're out of brake. The car was no brake.
No brakes at all?
No brakes at all.
What, you guys Flintstoning it here? What you do? Stick your foot out the door?
Well, we had a little grip on the back brakes. And
so it's heavy metal.
Yeah.
It was metal on metal, brake pad to rotor.
Yeah.
Metal
and not to mention I had a heavy dinner last night.
That slowed the car down? Yeah. Why do I relate to that?
I was hoping to slow the cars, but...
That little four-cylinder was just struggling to get going. And
No doubt.
So how you guys today?
Good, man. Good. We're it's fun being out here, and it's fun talking about the Cleveland metal scene. And obviously, Siki, you've been doing it forever and a day, man. Talk a little bit about it, man, because for you've always been a big personality, man, and that's never gone away.
Big personality. Holy smokes! Hey! Time to switch in Karen Carmen mode. Holy shit! It's the... No, that's not Freddie Kitchens. That's the one and only Captain Chris Hunter, road wrecking crew manager extraordinaire from Alethea, countless other bands, and Black Death Resurrected. Get in here, man. Say a few words. But anyways, but seriously though, this started back. You say 76, was in high school, 77, and then I met the guys that, the classic lineup of Black Death, so to speak. At least I met Phil and Greg Hicks then. Mm-hmm. Okay. And the guys, they weren't playing heavy metal. They were playing, was it Eric Clapton? John Lennon. Got to be something, do what you please, come together.
Right. Like some that. Beatles.
Yeah, okay. Are they metal? No, they're not. So if you're not metal, you don't matter. In the words of Freddie Kitchen, where are you, Chris Hunter? But anyways, seriously though. And I had to introduce these guys to heavy metal.
Right.
And in the beginning, it wasn't about being the first all dark heavy metal band or nothing like that, period.
Right.
It's about being the first heavy metal band, period, because there were no heavy metal bands playing locally on the Cleveland scene.
Right. No, you're right.
Yeah. I don't know. Some people said possibly Ohio. I don't know about that, but I know Cleveland it wasn't, because every time we played out, they didn't know they matched us. We played with punk rockers. We played with, Rick Derringer. Rick Derringer. Yeah, let me tell you about Rick Derringer.
All right.
Yeah, you puke. I still ain't forgot what you did to us, what you had your manager do at the Deputy Dog Saloon on West 25th in Cleveland, Ohio. That's right, brother. You tried to shut down the Black Death Mean Machine. You had your road manager turn the power out on us in the middle of our third song. But karma is a bitch, ain't it? Because right in the middle of rock and roll, hoochie coo, what happened? Right on the high harmony, too, there. Okay, if I might add. Our fans delivered swift metal justice. And it was dark. As a matter of fact, I don't think he was able to finish the concert.
Oops.
Because of the lights. Somebody had the fuses in their pockets. No, it wasn't me. I didn't direct anyone to do that either. I just gave them a look. You know?
Right.
Yeah, you sort of like Christopher Lee, the original Dracula, best Dracula. Screw, what's Bela
Lugosi, yeah.
Yeah, nobody but Christopher Lee,
Right.
Dracula, walks into the doorway. Through the whole movie, the dude doesn't say a word, but he just steps in his presence, and you hear the background music. I wanted background music like that. Come, Dracula, you know. But anyways, so I told the guys, I said, look, we can be the first because ain't nobody playing heavy metal.
Right.
And I remember we did our first show at Charlie's Tavern right there on St. Clair, somewhere down there, East 40th or 30th or some area like that. But anyways, you know, first paying gig, we got a bag of Black Beauties, and I think about 2 grams of cocaine, all the beer we could drink, and I think maybe $25 so we get something to eat. Yeah.
Did you want something to eat after all that coke?
Nah. Well, see, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I did take 2 big fat lines. And then a barroom brawl broke out in the middle of our set.
Right.
Yeah, okay, and that was another strange thing. After each song, we didn't know what, especially after the first song.
Right.
We stopped playing, and it was quiet. It was so dead quiet you could drop a pin and hear it drop.
Right.
You know, and that's even without the magic ear thing. And some altercation went on in the basement. Some gentleman called us, oh, fuck you politically correct pussies. Somebody down there supposedly called us a nigger or some shit. And there was some other fans there who we didn't know, but they became our fans there, took exception to that.
Right.
So this thing traveled from the bathroom in the basement all the way upstairs, and it was like your typical Wild Wild West television series, Barroom Brawl Frights, you know, where he likes to dive in the people.
Right.
You know, all right. Well, anyways, these guys, and we're still playing. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And then these 2 guys, you know, it's just like the 2 guys you see it on the Wild Wild West, the 2 stunt extras, they fighting over there, and that while the camera's over there.
Right.
These guys bumped into my amp, my stack. My brand new, well, it wasn't brand new, but I just bought
Brand new to you.
Yeah. Marshall stack with my 1968 Marshall head on it, and the thing was getting ready to fall over. I shit you not, Gates. These guys, these blokes, they stopped in the middle of that little wrestling match or whatever you want to call it, and they both worked together to right my amp back up. And then they went and proceeded to bash each other again. Interesting night. Also, another thing, I got a pitcher of beer after that happened,
right.
And it was still a little tussling in the corner. But anyways, I got a pitcher of beer because I was so hyped up. Okay, yeah, it could have been the 2 lines. But then I started drowning myself. It seemed like a good idea.
Right.
I had never tried to down a pitcher of beer before. And it was too much. I'm breaking up. So I just poured it all over me. And I like, yeah! I didn't mean to slam it that hard on the bar counter, but it shattered into smithereens. Needless to say, it didn't come out of our pay. How you going to get it back out of my nose? And we ain't giving up no pills. But that's the way it was back then, because back then in that era, you know, right. The sex, drugs, rock and roll, blah, blah, blah.
Sure. Once the metal scene started to come to Cleveland, Was it difficult for you to get into that scene? Because it always seemed like...
What do you mean difficult to get in? Who the hell do you think created the scene? We were the first. We planted the seed. Then we had bands like Breaker, Sharp Parents, Destructor, Sorcerer.
I agree, but they did. It didn't seem like you were included in that scene. It seemed like you always had your place. Black Death always had its place, which was its own animal.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of it was because you're wild as fuck.
Yeah.
And you know, and that's just the truth.
Yeah.
And it never seemed like, it always seemed when people talked about Cleveland Metal, Breaker and Destructor and blah, blah, blah. And then when they talked about wild Cleveland metal, they talked about Black Death.
Yeah.
You know,
I used to see that, but, you know, it didn't bother me because what's important is that the scene gets the recognition.
Right.
The people know who we are. They know what we did.
Right.
You know, and soon in my tell-all book to come out sometime next year, hopefully. Siki Spacek.
Nice.
Black Death and Resurrected. Okay.
Well, what's going on with Resurrected, man? You put it back together, right?
Yes, we did and stuff. We lost our guitar player. He was also a member of the original Black Death.
Okay.
Mr. Vincent Lindsay. He passed away last March from the long battle with cancer. Hell, he was battling in cancer for since 2013. He just kept it from the band, you know, and it sucks, man, because you know, it's like losing a loved one.
Right.
You know, I lost my wingman.
Right.
You know, we lost our brother and friend.
Matter of fact, the resurrected thing, it's come from me.
Okay.
When I meet you.
No, you didn't say resurrected. No. Him and Bim, it was him and Bim. You remember that? Siki Spacek and the resurrection? That was your idea. You and Bim.
No.
You and Bim.
Okay.
I was saying Black Death resurrected on the 101st was the name. Like always, I get my way.
When they first meet me, I was painting my house. We got a friend named Squeaky.
Okay.
He say, hey, dude, Black Death wants a drummer. Do you know how to play drums? I say, well, if you give me a rhythm and I follow it, just keep going. I'm going to follow you.
All right.
So that's where I met him. That's where I get the idea, I'm going to resurrect this guy because he's been out of the scene for a while.
Right.
Yeah, he found out the history. But here's the crazy thing. You know, when he auditioned to play drums, he never played a lick of drums in his life. We thought he knew how to play drums because while me and Ben were playing on playing the songs, he was there beating his beating. I mean, his thighs was like red right here above his knees because he had on shorts and shit.
Right.
We did this during the summertime, of course. But yeah,
I'm not a drummer. I'm an orchestra. I'm a clarinet and saxophone player.
Oh yes,
But
he has a
made
musical pedigree.
Wow.
But I can follow a rhythm.
Yeah. And in the Philippines, he was maestro of the orchestra. So,
Right.
you know, so we got some
I get a formal
musical
music
chops.
I can read
Now,
notes.
bass player Bim, he had to retire for health reasons. He's trying to get his house back together.
Right.
So we have a new bass player, a gentleman by the name of Stefan Loax Johnson. He does a lot of voiceover work. Yeah, you probably heard his commercials and stuff.
Okay. Very cool. So when can we look for Black Death Resurrected, new music? Are you working on music? Or are you
we have one album. Our latest album came out. When was that come out? 2016, was it?
Yeah.
2016. Right now we're working on Breaking the Chains of Hell.
Okay.
That's the third one. And we have new material, but it was so many other good songs from back in the day that never saw the day of light.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to have a healthy balance of some of those old classic gems,
right? Like
Sin After Sin, THC,
and others.
Yeah. Okay, brain fart. It happens. Where are my notes?
When Love Strikes Again.
Oh yeah, and When Love Strikes Again. That was a song that should have been on the first. Some of these songs should have been on the first record. But again, as I mentioned earlier, Philip Bullard and myself, me and the drummer, were the only real true musicians in the band. Okay, Greg Hicks, he could play guitar, but he wasn't heavy metal level.
Right.
Okay. And it gets frustrating when you're involved in something and you can't go any further because some of the skill position players playing with you can't motherfucking pull it off.
Right.
You know, and I tried to get Phil to come along with me, you know, and but he wouldn't.
Right.
And they thought I did some type of betrayal. How in the hell am I betraying? I'm trying to do, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, because if it was, I would have used them like a paper towel or use them the way a woman uses a wipe when she goes to the restroom. But I'm not like that. I'm not like that.
Nice.
That's
You
the
know.
time,
Well-
that's the time they put you in oblivion. That's the time I found him. He found me, and then I found him.
Yeah.
And I believe in the music, so I play.
Well, what did you do with yourself during that downtime period where you just
From 1988, that's when I walked away from the music scene for a variety of reasons, some of which you mentioned earlier about that inclusiveness thing and
Right.
stuff. You know, Metallica came here to play. Well, I think they played at the Pop Shop back in the day when they first came to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Same with Iron Maiden, you know. And we were the better band that should have opened up for those guys.
Right.
Because
Well, you drew
Black
more.
Death is the heaviest hitting band.
And you drew more.
Yeah.
I guess back in those old
Yeah,
days, I mean,
yeah.
you guys were a big draw.
Yeah, you know. And then, so, you know, and then I had also, during the time when I was with these guys from school up until 88, August 88, I was getting flack from fans. Oh, you don't spend no time with your own people. And I said, of course I'm spending time with all my own people. I'm a headbanger, they're headbangers. This ain't shit. What the this is the discrepancy? You wasted my time. Okay? So I went to do normal things.
Right.
I didn't go to church, but
Why do I not believe you at all that you did normal things?
I tried. You know, I tried it. Hey, how you doing, Bob? Cutting the grass.
Yeah, I
You
can
know,
see you
and-
chasing somebody down the street with that lawnmower, dude. I don't see you sitting around cutting grass.
Well, see, that's the thing. This is the cool thing, too, about my look. I don't have to chase nobody. They get the fuck out the way. When I walk in the hood, I'm trying to do the Undertaker now that I've got the belt.
Hey, you got that TNA
Maybe all this Jeepers Creepers nonsense will stop.
Right.
Jeez. Wrestling! Undertaker fan here. And besides, I was wearing it. Wait a minute, was the Undertaker out in 1983?
No.
Oh, well, I was doing the long coat and duster thing before the Undertaker. Okay. And the only reason I didn't wear a hat on the album cover, couldn't find one with a big brim.
Right.
Yeah.
And Undertaker came out in either 88 or 90 here in Cleveland.
Yeah.
He did on whatever pay-per-view. Royal Rumble.
Is that the one where he won the title and he only had it for like 3 days?
No, he lost. He was the $1 Million Man's buy-in.
when he- right.
He was the $1 Million Man's buy-in. Yep.
Before Paul Heyman. That's correct.
I don't have a belt, but I know a little wrestling myself.
Here, I share. You too can hold the belt and say, Cleveland Metal.
Nice.
Courtesy of Black Death Resurrected. Siki Spacek.
Yeah. Now, do you think that Mandy Lion is a faker for stealing your look?
Mandy Lion.
You don't know Mandy Lion?
No, who the hell is he? I mean,
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm being serious. I don't never heard
He's
of
in World War III. The band World War III.
Oh, and he trusts with my look.
Yeah,
He's got the long
He's
coat.
got the exact look.
Yeah, the long coat, the hat. You should sue his ass.
I know. I've seen
Don't tell
a
me
lot of
you're
other
copy-
people
Copycat.
simulate my appearance, you know. I mean, even back in the day, I remember this band from California, Sound Barrier.
Okay.
Okay, they're the first all dark heavy metal band
Right.
to get a major record label.
Right.
we predate them. They didn't come out till 84, whatever. But people thought it was us or thought it was me or another band of mine, because the guitar player, my brother, Spacey Tracy T. Singleton, he wore the red hairband like I did, and, his image was,
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think of
skirting the copyright laws?
what do you think of the metal bands, the black metal musicians today that didn't have to go through what you did to get acclaim? And I'm not picking on these bands because I kind of like them, but like Seven Dust, LeJean Witherspoon from Seven Dust, or
Seven Dust,
or
is a black guy?
Yeah, the singer's a black guy, or Nonpoint, the singer's a black guy, and and
Alice in Chains too, right?
Yeah, William Duvall.
Well, it's all cool. It's cool. It's cool. I mean, and here's the rub. When I first heard about these bands during the 90s and blah, blah, new metal,
right.
And some of it was, and then I would look at some names. See, a lot of the bands, the names that they come out with nowadays or back then, they weren't cool names like when we came out.
Right.
Judas Priest, you knew what the hell you were getting.
Right.
Black Death, you really knew what the fuck. You didn't know what to expect, but you knew you was getting something.
Yeah, you weren't like these bands today called 7 Miles from Pittsburgh. Or
Like, and some of them have real good music, but the name.
Yeah.
And don't get me started on that Cookie Monster vocal shit. Okay, enough is enough. I mean, okay, I can see it works for some songs, but you got to have a bit of a variety. Right. And that's another thing that set our era apart from any era after us. Yeah, boomers rock! Anyways, is the fact each band, the vocalist had his own style. Everybody was unique, individual.
Right.
Scorpions, you would hear Claw's name. Force yourself to use your brain. And then if you knew if it was Judas Priest, the old man sitting there with his head bowed down. Okay. Every now and then, I do take a look around. And I say, where did the time go? But anyways, and then if you heard a set, it was Okay. Right. And then, if you heard AC/DC, somewhere clock strikes midnight and there's a full moon in the sky. You hear down back in the distance and you hear someone's baby cry. One day we got to cover this song. I love that. That song made me fall in love with AC/DC because before that I couldn't stand him because of the way he sung.
Right.
Until I heard that song, I say, he's a singer. He can sing.
Nice. Well, were you ever familiar with the L.A. band Willie Bass and Black Sheep? Were you familiar with them at all?
I have seen on Facebook because, see, from 88, I was going off the scene for nearly 30 years. I didn't come back on the scene until 2004, like some old Mayan prophecy or some bad script in a horror movie, And she was Thunder and Lightning. Yulee John Roth and Michael Schenker came to Cleveland to play at the Peabody's Down Under. Right. Yulee Roth's first show in Cleveland. Right. You think it took that to get me to come back on the scene. But anyways, that's not the point. I came back. Anyways, and I came with my album, holding it just like this, because I didn't have the belt then. Had to save up some money to get this. Right. Anyways.
No, you're good.
No, okay. Good. So anyways and shit, I'm holding the belt standing out in front because a friend of ours, Squeaky, who Titus mentioned earlier, he had to pick it because remember he had his girlfriend. Who's that white chick? Whatever her name was. She was a good chick.
Goldie, is it?
No, not Goldie. That was Michael Blue.
Some white chick.
Yeah, She was blonde, But she was good people. I can't remember her name, though. Well, what the hell? I'm not
whatever. No one's going to know anyway.
Right, yeah. I'm a rock star. You don't remember names. You remember faces. Hey! Okay. So, anyways, he didn't think I was coming because he'll tell you, a lot of people tell you, it's hard to get me out the house. I'm a bit reclusive.
Sounds like me.
I'm a bit reclusive.
Right.
And anyhows and stuff, but I wasn't missing this.
Right.
Are you kidding me? Hey, look at my ego. I'm losing hair there. I ain't sure the boss.
So what's the plan for Black Death? You guys playing out or you?
Yes, we are. Funny you should mention that. We're playing out tonight at the Maple Grove Tavern on Peace Road. We going at 11. We're playing with some blokes, good friends. Oh, they are? Oh, shit. Oh, that's natural. That's like, like when the so-called rockets or space shuttle come back in the atmosphere, and it's like, what's the name?
Right. What'd you do, throw a forearm, hit him in the nose?
I didn't hit him. I did not hit him.
It's just dry in here.
No, it's my presence. I'm sorry, bro. Too much.
You took all the moisture out of the air, man.
But anyways, so what we're gonna planning to do is this. We're and everybody get over it. I'm gonna get a guitar player, the best man for the job.
All right.
That all black lineup bullshit, that's been done. It's over. Right now I'm about the music. I need somebody who could come in here and kick ass with me on guitar right beside me, like my brother, our departed brother Vincent Lindsay used to do.
Right.
So it's an open cattle call.
There you go.
If you think you got what it takes.
There you go.
Now, do you guys have a website or where people can find you or anything like that?
Yeah, just go to our Facebook thingamabobby. Other people set that stuff up. What happened?
Ain't dealing with that.
Yeah. no, it's Black Death Resurrected has a legitimate Facebook thing, and that's the real Black Death, not the other Black Death site, which is about the history of Black Death, the classic lineup ran by Greg Hicks.
Right.
But they're a tribute band.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
All right. Well, we thought we'd maybe close out this interview segment and play some Black Death. I got Night of the Living Dead, Streetwalker, Scream for the Iron Messiah, The Hunger. What would you like us to play?
Since today is the Sabbath, do you have Fear No Evil?
I don't.
Okay. Now let's see you going over again. Which one has the guitar solos in it? Okay. Let's flip a coin. Flip your coin. All right. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, screw it. Eeny, meeny, miny. Oh, you can't never go wrong. You said Night of Living Death, and who else?
Streetwalker, Scream of the Iron Messiah, The Hunger, The Tears Run Red.
The Hunger. No, When Tears Run Red. No, that's a little. The Hunger.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, check out Black Death. They're playing tonight, and go check out their Facebook. Just look them up, and you can find these characters, Siki and the Phantom, over there, and go out and see them if they come near you. So,
and come to me on my Facebook profile. Paul Mandrake is back. Earl Gamble is dead. You think you can ban me, Facebook? Oh, I'm coming for you, Mark Zuckerberg. You goddamn clone of data.
Here it is. It's Black Death exclusively here
on your classic metal show.
In the Slippery Wizard, Anthony Lima.
All right, thanks.